On Saturday, June 24, 2023, the devastating news of the death of Professor Lai Oso shook the field of mass communication.
Poured in today in celebration of the life and time of foremost professor of communication in Nigeria, Lai Oso. Following a motor accident along the Benin-Shagamu Expressway on Saturday, June the 24th, 2023. It is also a tribute to Nigerian and the Lagos State University media scholars, practitioners, friends, and proteges.
Born on October 8, 1955, in Shagamu, Ogun State, the late Professor Muraino Olaiwola Osho embarked on an academic journey that left us an indelible mark. Meet Professor Alawode, the Dean of the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, and also a colleague of the late Professor Lai Oso. With warmth and respect, he shares the story of his long-standing friendship with the late Professor Lai Oso.
Professor Osho was a father figure to all of us in the faculty, obviously the eldest or the oldest. And he was a dean of the faculty from 2012, 2011, 2013, he was the dean of the faculty, right? And he became the unifying figure, or the father figure of the faculty. And until his passing, hardly is there anyone among the staff, whether academic or non-academic, that can say he didn't touch his life one way or the other, especially financially, academically, most often. Professor Shaw will always say, join me to write this paper, come and contribute to this journal, come and do this, come and do that, just for your own development. Always ensure that we all work together in unity. It makes the environment, if we are here now, we are brooding about one thing or the other, immediately Professor Shaw comes in, the atmosphere will change. It will make it lively, it will play, it will crack jokes, it will give you experiences of what you've gone through, whether we're in Nigeria studying or youth corps or while studying overseas.
So sir, can you give us a background to why it is called the Encyclopedia of Mass Communication and Theory?
So Professor Shaw was versatile. Hardly is there any area of communication that we mention that you will not have either a book or ready resource to assist you with. I know that he has written on development communication, he has written about community, he has a book on multi-dimensional approach to journalism, he has one on entertainment. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. And in his own time, it's not when you say my own area is just journalism and that's where I want to stay. You have to touch all areas of communication. And that's why we say when you are into BSc mass communication, you are jack of all trades, master of none. So in his own era, that's the way he developed. But now says, okay, this is my own area, political communication. But you will not see him stay and say anything outside political communication, don't call me. If it is development communication, is there. If it's health communication, is there. If it's broadcasting, is there. If it is public relations, is there. If it is advertising, it is there. Because in his growing days, he started as a youth corps member with News Agency of Nigeria. And then when you go through his CV, you see that he has actually worked with Ogun State Television. He was there. I don't remember whether as a reporter, there may be a program producer. So he has touched all of aspects of communication that we can talk about. Even when you talk about AI, is there. When you talk about social media, is there. So there's nothing you want to say that It's not a bit of this, a bit of that. And so at every point in time is ready. You can call him, you can wake him up and say, Prof, I'm thinking about this. What's your opinion? He will give you details and resources that you can work with. If I will tell you, there's this book of mine that I bought when I was in UK, I'll bring it for you tomorrow morning. Just remind me so that I will check my bookshelf at home and trust him. He will bring that book for you. Do you get it? That's the way he is, and that's why you call him encyclopedia of communication. Is there any aspect of communication that you want to wake him up and say, tell me something about this that he doesn't have ready answer for? He's so resourceful.
I don't know if you have anything you want to say about him again, or maybe one memory you remember of him during his lifetime. Something that you want us to
so many things to talk about. For instance, that's why we call him father of all. If I'm eating now in my personal office as I'm seated, I'm eating, and Professor Shaw comes in. Yinka, nǹkan tó dábàá ni mọ́mí ṣe fún ẹ, ìwọ nìkan wá ń dà jẹ, bring spoon, let me eat. We will eat together. That is Professor. He will not say, how should I be eating with? He will take spoon and we eat together. And particularly, he made that do I call it a norm? When he's around, let's go to my den. What are they coming to do? We'll sit down as a family. Open this fridge, bring the wine that is there. We'll bring that wine. Bring minerals for us to mix it, and we'll drink together as a cordial family. And while we are drinking, we'll be chatting, talking about things we need to do and how to go about what we need to do in the faculty. And that is him for you. Very friendly, very fatherly, very candid when needs be, blunt when needs be. And then when there are contentions in the faculty, immediately he steps in. That is the end of that matter. He will ensure that all sides of the commotion are rubbed off, and so we come to terms and become friends all over. So you don't need to fight. And then if people have misunderstanding or misgivings against each other, one another, will call them together. Don't need to do this. We are one big family. Let's stay like that. Other people are envying us. They want to put us asunder so that they can penetrate. We don't need that. Let's stick together as a family. And that is Professor Oso for you. Very lively, very encouraging, very resourceful, very friendly, and usually blunt when needs be. And then always ensuring that there is peace wherever he is. He's a peace-loving person.
Tapping into nostalgia, we meet Professor Olujimi Kayode, the former director of the Nigerian Institute of Journalism and a cherished friend of Professor Lai Oso, who was with the late in every step of his career. He shares his insights into their relationship and the impact they had on each other's lives.
Professor Lai Oso and I have been colleagues, and we had actually been close, very close to each other long before LASU. I think we met before we came to LASU. We met at the time when he was Deputy Provost of the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, and I was the Deputy Director of the Nigerian Institute of Journalism. That was when we met, and we've had that close relationship, especially in terms of career. So we've been together, and then we also met in LASU. So it's quite some time. I think the important thing is that we met before we came to LASU. Yes, we've been friends.
So, how would you describe the late professor?
One thing maybe 2-3 dimensions I'll look at. The first thing is that I would say that Professor Lai Oso was a scholar, and what I mean by that was a real intellectual when it comes to communication. He was a scholar. Then in terms of relationship, in terms of character, he was very generous. He was a generous person. He could give, and he was always giving out to people. And thirdly, he was also a very good leader. All the students he had mentored are now lecturers. He was really ready to elevate people, to promote them, to make them become lecturers, professors, and all that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So, sir, like with what you've said, he was your colleague, and both of you had a good rapport, as you guys were close.
Yes.
So, sir, please, what impact did the professor made in your life? Like, what was his impact?
I think the main area is in terms of his work as a lecturer, a teacher, and a professor. If we are talking of impact, the main impact is that he has mentored many students who are now professors. Many of his former students are now professors. They are now colleagues with us. That's the main thing. And I can tell you also that that is also across Nigeria. There is nowhere in Nigeria today, there is no communication environment, there is no communication school where Lai Oso is not known. Yes. Especially in terms of mentoring students who are now professors. Yes.
So, are there any particular publications or projects from the late professor that stands out and impacted the field of mass communication?
There are so many. I can't really pick any particular one, but I know that he's done quite a lot of work in political communication, and it's an area where he's a noted scholar, political communication, and he's done a lot of work in that area, especially in terms of political communication in Nigeria. So if you are actually looking for a professor of political communication, yes, Lai Oso is it. I really miss Lai Oso, and there's one thing I always say that I remember from him. Anytime I work in several places, like for instance, I work at Trinity University as an adjunct professor, I work at Anchor University as an adjunct professor, I have worked at Ogun State University. I was a pioneer adjunct lecturer in Ogun State University when it was established and all that. And Lai Oso is just like that too. One of the things that I still remember and I work with is that Lai Oso will tell us, especially when they are not paying us on time. Lai Oso will say, and honestly I don't know how to put this in English, he will say, ṣáà jẹ́ ká máa ṣiṣẹ́ yìí lọ, ìjọ tó bá sanwó yẹn àṣà ní dànù. And that's the philosophy that has kept me. That well, if they are not really paying on time, you say let's just work. And that has really kept me going. Many times I will tell people that when they say, you are still working in this place, they are owing you 3 semesters, they are owing you, I say, don't worry. I still want to stick with Lai Oso's philosophy that just work. At the end of the day, they will pay. And even though they might pay late, but anytime they pay, you are not going to say, so you are paying me now and throw the money away. You will still spend it. That I remember very much about him, that philosophy.
Dr. Fatonji, a former student of Professor Lai Oso, at both the undergraduate and postgraduate levels, sheds light on the late professor's role as an educator and mentor.
People were laid off in this university because they didn't have their PhD at the right time. So Professor Oso, which did that for me. He was my supervisor. He made sure that I had my PhD at record time. Do you understand? So as supervisor, he was always there asking, how far? What have you done? He would call me almost every day. Do you understand that? So he made my PhD to be fast. He was there. He was always willing to even offer sacrifices, to ensure that I finished early. He gave me contact of people. He edited my work without wasting time. I remember the time that he had to even give money, to assist. I remember when we danced together and the day I finished my defense, when I did my defense, that day coincidentally was the end of year party of the faculty. So we had it at Lasso Radio. And Prof, we were dancing to this tune. This guy that won, this Nigerian singer, Jerusalem. So he was dancing on that tune. So we had a lot of fun together.
Yeah, any last word?
Last word. I will continue to talk about Professor Oso as long as I live. You recollect, I don't know if you were there when we were doing his area, took a front position in ensuring that he was giving a befitting exit, at least as far as the faculty was concerned. So to me, Professor Oso, a father, a mentor, a great person, an icon that remains an icon forever in my heart, and we miss him so much. And all we can say is continue to rest in peace.
Now, let's meet Mr. Jamiu, the director of Lasso Radio, and another former student of Professor Lai Oso, who shared his perspective on the character and influence of the late professor.
My name is Jamiu Aya. I can say Professor Oso is just like a father to me. Because I can say since I graduated from the university, he has been just like a father to me. I'm going to say it again. He has been just like a father to me. Taught me during my undergraduate days, taught me during my master's level, taught me at the PhD level too. And why I said it's just like a father to me is because there's nothing I don't discuss with him. I told about my life, my career, when I've not gotten married. The way he is that he does not say that maybe because of he's a professor, he comes down to your level and he asks you and he talks to you very well. Right? So he's very intelligent. Right? So he's someone that I know that he can mention like 100 authors for a particular topic. 100 authors, the local authors, international authors. He's going to tell you go and check 5th edition, go and check so page, go and check so chapter. You would find it there. He's someone that I can say that is very intelligent, and once he comes to class, like he's going to flow. He tends to bring in the practical because his area is political economy, media, hegemony and stuff like that. Political communication and the rest of the others. So I can say he's well grounded when it comes to the area of journalism, the area of media, and that is why he's well recognized. He was well recognized in the world, like because there is no university you go in Nigeria that you mentioned Professor Lai Oso that they will tell you that they don't know.
Do you have any fond memory or any particular moment you guys shared together?
Lovely, we've shared so many memories together. Starting from when I graduated from the university, I got back, like okay, just looking for a job. I had to just look for a one-room self-contained. I am my friend. Olasukumi Agolo. Olasukumi Agolo is more closer to Baba, but the both of us we are very close. I remember then. Short comes our stay in that same room self-con as a contain. We are going to sleep in that same room. We are going to eat together, eat bread and akara. He's going to say, Jamu, Afana, she only you want to have soup in beside Pala saying. Then we ensure that we get down there, we are going to eat together. When I even move to my room and parlor too, at Obado, he still usually comes. That was after my master's level, before I even got married and all of that. So I can say we were very close, like very close to his wife, his daughter, son, everyone. Like I go to his house almost every year for the Christmas. He lived a very good life. He was able to touch different people's life. Just gonna pray that we so continue to rest in peace.
Beyond his academic achievements, Professor Lai Oso was a devoted father and mentor to his children. Simi Osho and Moyosola Osho shared their heartfelt relationship with their father.
My name is Moya Oso. I am a legal practitioner and I am a son to the late Professor Lai Oso. I am the second born. I have a sister. So he had two children, my sister and myself. So I am the only son and I am the second born, second and last born. It's right to put it that way.
How would you describe Mr. Lai Oso as a father?
First thing first, he was a father in all sense of the word father. He was someone that is caring, selfless, loving, protective of his family. He was someone that did not spare any of his money, any of his everything he had. He gave to his family, and he was someone that always wants the best for his family. At every opportunity, he encouraged his family, encouraged me, encouraged my sister, encouraged my mom. So, in the sense of the word, Father, he was everything. He showed godly morals, he showed good virtues, good attributes that we were able to learn for. He was never, he was not someone you would call street in the sense of the word, but he was very disciplined. And he lived his life every day in a way that we were able to learn from it. Like I've said on several occasions, I had the opportunity to talk about him. Hardly can I remember him sitting down to tell us that this is how you live your life, to teach life lessons. But the way he lived his life every day, you had no choice than to learn from it. So, like I said when I started, he was a father in every sense of the word. He's a great father because the way he lived his life. Because if you have someone who lives for his family, you can't doubt the greatness of that person. If you see someone, we knew he was a very great man. We knew he was someone who was special. Let me use that word, but we never knew how special and how great he was until his unfortunate death. Even till last week, I still had some people that hadn't seen me after the event, but now saw me. I never knew your daddy was so. I even There was a day I was in court. Somebody saw me in court, and it was the judge, and he was sharing his condolences. And someone in our heard. I said, so that was your father. I said, yes. He said, I saw it all over the news. He read the tributes. He saw the stories from almost all the media houses, and I saw those were the things. His greatness were what we took consolation in. So, from the report, from the tribute, from everything, he was a great man, even greater than what we think or what we thought. So, we thank God for his life, for the impact he has been able to create, and the way God has been able to use him. Yes, he was indeed a great one.
My name is Simisola Shekon. I teach at the Lagos State University.
What and how was the relationship with the late Professor Lai Oso?
He was my father, first daughter,
First daughter, like only daughter or
only daughter, the first child of the family.
wow. Okay, so how can you describe Professor Osho as a father?
As a father,
Yes.
the present father, he was the present father. He was there at every point in time, every decision I made in my life, always there to give advice, give moral support, financial support, any kind of support. He was a selfless father. He was kind. He was everything. He was my gist partner.
Wow.
Yes. I think his humility is one significant thing that I'm taking from him. For someone nature, of that, let's say, caliber.
Yeah.
And it was during the burial that I saw some people and I'm like, oh, so daddy knew this person, so he knew this person, so he knew this person. But he was not one to misuse any kind of opportunity he had. So one significant thing about him that I think I would always want